Alright, we are live. Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. I am Violet Hyena. You are here with perfect timing, and I am here to do readings for people with perfect timing. And the game is that I have 13 decks, and they all have a lot to say, and to pick which one gets to speak, I use metal clink clank dice to pick which one gets to speak. And I have to turn down my fan because it's too loud. It's too loud. There we go. That should be better. Alright. And we have Helen. Hi, Helen. And Helen says, "Hello, Viola. How are you doing?" And Helen says, "I hope you had fun on the break." I slept because I had a nap attack. I apologize. I did not mean to be away. My body just refused to be awake. Because I have an iron deficiency when I have my period, so there you go. I had nothing. I was asleep. I slept through the night and then I wanted to continue sleeping. But I am up now and I'm able to stream. So I apologize. Alright. Let's see, will I get money other than the sum that F is gonna bring? Alright, let us start the questions. Alright, so Helen is on the board. Okay, so should I save it? Should I buy the phone too, because it will be important to my transformation time, or what I have is enough right now? Will I get the glow up I dream up in 2027? And Intuitive Jen says, "Hi, will I manifest 3K in 2 weeks?" Hi, Intuitive Jen. And okay, so how many Helen questions? Hold on. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got 5 Helen questions. Okay, we have a Jen question. And then we have Debbie. Hello, Debbie. Welcome. And Debbie says hello with a hug. And Preston says hello. Hello, Preston. And Debbie Kelly says, "Can you tell me if I will find my true love?" Debbie is on the list. And Rolina says hello. Hello, Rolina. I do not recognize your username. You must be new. Thank you for subscribing and welcome. And Rolina says, "Can I know if Juris will reconcile with me?" It's a very good question. I'll add you to the list. So, Rolina, you're on the list. I do know your questions there, but I catch up with chat and I write down all the people who have questions, and then when I catch up with chat, I will get to your questions. So thank you for your patience. I will get to you. Do not worry. Okay. And Intuitive Jen says hi. Smiley face. Hi, Jen. And Rolina says, "Yes, I'm a new subscriber. Thanks for having me here." You are so welcome here. Thank you for subscribing. And Rolina says, "Sure, thank you." Awesome. So I have caught up on chat, so I'm going to get to your questions now. Okay, so we have Helen questions. don't believe D8. Gotta get a stick for Helen. Number 6. Okay, Robin Wood, Terrence. Spank it. It listened. Okay, so will Helen get money other than the sum that F is gonna bring? Will Helen get money other than the sum F is gonna bring? Okay, the answer is no. So this is the job card. This is literally number 3, and I did get the message that you're not going to get more than the sum that F is gonna bring. The cards are rudely saying go get a job. I know that's very mean, but that's what the cards say. I would say they are suggesting that you go make some money. And that is what I'm gonna leave it at. The cards, sassy tonight, guys. So sassy. I'm so sorry. Okay. And then, Helen asks, when F gonna bring that sum of money? Ooh, we're going to use the Cosmic Timing Oracle deck because it's a when question. It's a when question. And the time questions, I always use this deck. Okay, so when is F gonna bring that money? So the next new moon. There you go. The next new moon. When is the next new moon? Hold on. I have the internet. I can look it up. The next new moon. Okay, so the next new moon is August 12th, 2026. So that is what the cards say. August 12th, 2026. Okay, so should Helen save it? Should Helen save it? Should Helen save it? Ooh. And that's a yes. That's a very logical choice. And the cards want to say that is a great beginning to something wonderful and logical. Just, it makes so much sense. And that is what the cards say. And should I buy Okay. So the cards have already answered that you should save it. Let's see, should I buy the phone too, because it will be important to my transformation time, or what I have is enough right now? Alright, I'm going to simplify that answer and ask if you should purchase a phone right now. Should Helen purchase a phone right now? No. The cards say no. That is not going to be an abundant choice. So it's going to stick with the first one, save the money. Will Helen get the glow up she dreamed in 2027? Will she get the glow up in 2027? Will she get the glow up next year? That is a no, but I think it's a soft no because there's a logical decision you're going to be making. You're going to have to make logical choices to make that happen. You're going to have to make the glow up happen. And that's the choice you got to make. But it's going to be a mental, I don't want to say mental struggle, but it's going to be a mental discipline for you to do. Okay, you have to make the choice to go glow up. And that is what the cards say. Okay, and then got Helen's questions done. And then we got Jen's, which is, hi, will I manifest 3K in 2 weeks? Let's ask a deck. Which deck would like this question? Number 7. Every little thing you do is magic, you know. Do-do-do-do-do-do. It's magic, you know. Do-do-do-do-do-do. There. Will Jen manifest 3K in 2 weeks? Will Jen manifest? Ooh, come here. Will Jen manifest 3K in 2 weeks? That is a no. That is an 8 of Swords. It's gonna let you know if you try to manifest that much money in that amount of time, it's going to be super stressful on your mentality. So that is not going to happen in 2 weeks. So I hope that helps you out. So don't stress over it. Find the easy path and go with it. Okay, got Jen's, and then we got Debbie's. What is Debbie's? Can you tell me if I will find my true love? It's gonna be which deck? 8. So you get a bonus card. You get a bonus card. But which deck? Number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. First off, bonus card. That way I don't forget. And then more focus on the question. Where did it go? Oh yes. Can you tell me if Debbie will find her true love? Will Debbie find her true love? Will Debbie find her true love? Is it out there for her? Where is Debbie's true love? Okay, the answer is no. 10 of Wands. I'm going to make that a soft no, because this is the 10 of Wands. This is the completion of an action quest. This is the completion of a skills journey. You know what? This is a journey that you're very tired of. You have to go through a lot of hoops and jump over a lot of obstacles to get through this, and it seems like it's really tough, and that sucks. Oh, and then the bonus card is the Ace of Wands. So this is wands. This is building your magic and energy, and building your skills and your passions. This doesn't have anything to do with love right now. So this is the full journey from Ace to 10. So right now, what phase you're in is the action journey. You are still building up yourself before you find that love. All right. So just want to let you know that. Hope that helps you out. And then Lena's first question. Okay. Can I know if Juris will reconcile with me? Okay, this one. Need that. Ooh, no, come back. I demand you. Come to me. Got. Let's try again. On the table, please. Number 3. 1, 2, 3, supernatural deck. Okay. Can we know if Juris will reconcile with Rowena? Will Juris reconcile with Rowena? Will Juris reconcile with Rowena? The answer is no. Why not? King of Bones. Oh. The King of Bones is focused on his work. And he has no other eyes before his work right now. So I do apologize. It doesn't look like that reconciliation is going to happen. I'm sorry. I hope that helps. I don't like delivering bad news. Okay, and then I've completed the list, so I'm going to clear the board. I'm going to have a drink, and not hydrate. And then I'm going to check back on chat and make a new list. Come here. Ah, tasty. Water to me, guys. Okay. And Debbie says, get a job. Yeah. The cards are mean sometimes. And Debbie says, or buy a lottery ticket that wins. Always buy the winning lottery ticket. Okay, and Safi says, hello, Roseheart. Hello, Safi. And Safi says, should I go on a trip with the family or should I go on a different trip all alone to SR? Okay, so Safi is on the list. And Intuitive Jen says, thanks, and you are very welcome. And Miriam says, hi. Hi, Miriam. Miriam says, hope you're doing well today. I wish you well, Miriam. And Miriam says, what advice is my future husband trying to tell me as he keeps popping up in my reading? So go ahead. What do he want to say? Tarot, please, thanks. Okay, so Miriam. And a tarot card deck. Okay. And Safi says, should I go to MB with the fam, then go to PR and explore the area? Safi again. And Jen says, will everything be okay when it comes to the 11K and paying it off? That's the full amount. So Jen is back on the list. And Safi says, what advice would my future husband want me to give me right now? Okay, so Safi again. And Debbie says, awesome reading. I'm in the action journey. Yes. Good for you. Be passionate. Go do stuff. And Rolina says, hearts and... was it? Heart hand. I return the heart hand. Thank you. And Parlasach says, did the dice roll on the floor? Yes, the die rolled on the floor. Rolina says, oh, okay, it's alright. Thank you for the reading. You're very welcome. And Rodney Henning, hello, Rodney. I do not believe I've seen your username before. Welcome. You must be new. And you're free to ask a question since you've subscribed. Thank you for subscribing. And John says, hi, Violet. Hi, John. And John says, I finally got the eye. Okay, John, I'm worried. What do you mean by the eye? Okay, well, I have caught up on chat, so while John answers that, I'm going to do the list. So, we got Safi. Safi says, should I go on a trip with family, or should I go on a different trip other than DSR? Alright, so we need a tarot card deck. You get a bonus card. You get 2 bonus cards. You get a 5. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Prisma Visions deck. So 2 bonus cards. That's one of them. And the Chariot is very appropriate for a trip card, a trip topic. So it acknowledges your question already. There we go. Second bonus card. There we go. And then we're going to actually answer the question. Oh, should you go on trip? Family. Or solo? Okay, so should you go on the family trip or the solo trip? We're going to do a comparative one. Comparative reading. So family and solo. Okay, well, the family trip is going to be a victorious one. And it's even traveling in a boat. So, the 6 of Wands, which is a successful, victorious action journey, full of movement. And the Page of Pentacles is a solo trip. It would be a novice's trip, and you are focused on a goal of resources and managing it on your own. And I want to say, if you want to have an easy trip, go with the family, because it looks like they got all of their ducks in a row, I want to say. And then the Page of Pentacles, you're going to be doing a lot of resource management if you go alone. Now, what were the bonus cards? It says this one is definitely acknowledging the fact that it's a trip question. It's the Chariot. It's a major arcana. And then we have the Knight of Swords. So you're going to have to use your brain. And you're going to be... There's going to have to be some... like, this is funny, because it just double acknowledges the trip. Because the Knight is a force of movement. And this is aggressive movement. So whichever trip you go on, you're going to have to be aggressive and alert with it. And if you go on the solo trip, you're going to have to be aggressive and knowing what you're doing on the way. And on the family trip, there is going to be more people with you to help you along the way. It's still going to take planning and everything, but at least then you have other people to rely on. And it is up to you which one you choose. Do you want the one that you're going to have to work a bit harder on? Or are you going to want the one with a little bit more support and other people accountable for their actions? And it also depends on how good your family dynamics are, on whether you want to deal with them. Because it's going to be a good trip. It's just, do you want to deal with all those people? Or do you want to vet your own and spread your wings to do the solo journey? And that is a personal decision that you're going to have to make. So I hope that makes it the decision clear for you which one you're going to go on. Alright, Sophia, hope that helps you out. Okay, and Miriam's question. Okay, Miriam just wants straight off a tarot card deck. Number 1, Cat Tarot. And then I'm going to go back and read the question. What advice is my future husband trying to tell me, as he keeps popping up in my readings? So go ahead. What do he want to say? Alright. Dear future husband, that is a song reference. It is in my head. Okay. Dear future husband, advice please. He's a funny one. He likes cats. I approve already. Future husband, advice please. For Miriam. Here we go. Future husband, give advice. Oh, let's see. That is 7 of Wands. So he says, look at all the skills you got. The Wheel of Fortune. So you're very lucky. Luck is with you. And then the 5 of Wands. So you're going to build up your skills by challenging other people with them. And that's a good thing because you're going to get better at them and you're going to master them, and that's going to help you in the area of luck and skill and good things. You build up more skill, you build up more luck. Alright? And that is what future husband says. I hope that helps you out. Okay, then we got Safi again. Should I go to MB with the fam, then go to PR and explore the area? I'm not sure. We're going to ask the cards. Oh. MB with family or PR and explore the area. We're going to do a comparative experience. Number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, Octopus Terrace. Okay, so MB with family, and then PR. What do we got? So MB with family is going to be a masterful action journey. So definitely a yes on the family trip. And the Page of Swords. Again with the pages on your exploring alone. This is the Page of Swords. And this is the one where the kid is running with scissors. Be careful with this one. Be careful with exploring PR. Bring sharp things. And the 8 of Wands is that you're going to have a really good time in MB. Like, there's just a lot of good stuff there. And I see the wands are all lined up nicely, so I think everyone coming together as a family is going to work out well in this situation. Alright, and that is what the cards say. I mean, I'm just kind of lazy. I want a good time, so I would go with the fam. That's the vibe I'm getting, and that is just what the cards are telling me. But it is your choice if you want to deal with your family. I mean, some families you just don't want to hang out with, so I understand that too. That is your decision. Okay, and then Jen. Will everything be okay when it comes to the 11K and paying it off? That's the full amount. Alright, so we need D8. Number 2. Investigate. Will everything be okay when it comes to the 11K and paying it off? Yes. Ooh, the sun. It will be fantastic and happy. Because the sun is one of the best cards you can get in the tarot card deck. This is the major arcana. It's very sunshiny and bright. Very happy. So this is a good, clear path. Everything's going to work out just fine. That's amazing. I love to give those kind of back answers. So yes, the 11K, you're going to find your way. And that is what the cards say. Okay, then Safi's question. What advice would my future husband want to give right now? Dear future husband. Wait, dear future husband, advice for Safi. Right. We're going to leave it up to all the decks. Number 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Money and the law of attraction. And this is the information card. It is shy. We leave it in the box. Don't look, it's shy. We leave it in the box. Okay, future husband, advice please, for Safi. Okay. I am the attractor of my every experience. You are meant to live an expansive, exhilarating, good-feeling experience. It was your plan when you made the decision to become focused in your physical body in this space-time reality. You are born knowing that you are a powerful being, that you are good, that you are the creator of your experience, and that the law of attraction, the essence of that which is like itself, is like unto itself and is drawn, is the basis of the universe, and you knew it would serve you well, and so it has. So, future husband says you are the attractor of your ever experience. So go create your reality. Awesome advice from future husband. It's good to have a husband that go encourage you to do your own stuff. Be creative. Good stuff. Thank you, husband. Alright, so I have completed this list. There we go. I've cleared it. I'm going to hydrate and then I'm going to continue with catching up with chat. Also gonna put on chapstick and an inhaler so I can speak and breathe better. Oxygen is important. It's very good stuff. And water's really good stuff. Oof. Okay. Let's see. Okay, and John, we start with John. So Safi says, is the Kundalini activation I'm having only because G is in my energy? Okay, Safi's on the board. Ooh, Jen has a lot to say. What's she got to say? Okay. Intuitive Jen says, thank God I've never had to pay so much money this year. Has to be putting me through it. They had gave me the option to pay $3,000 in 2 weeks and everything would be good, or pay the full amount. But paying the full amount over time is better option. It seems in like anyway, so thank you so much. And intuitive Jen says cars can cause debt. Be aware, everyone stay on top of the bills and make sure before buying. No issues at all. So, if I may, I don't know what kind of area you're in. I don't know if it's an option. I guess you've already bought the car, so maybe advice would be too late by now, but I also had a car experience recently, and I did not buy a new car. I actually bought an e-bike, which is much cheaper than $11,000. But $11,000 for a car is not as steep as I've gone before, so you might be okay. So I wish you well, Jen. Alright, and I have caught up with chat, so I'm going to go back and answer Safi's question. It's what I have to pay off. I totally understand, and it sucks. I'm so sorry you have to go through that. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna do Safi's question. So, tarot card reading number 2. Gay Tarot. This Kundalini activation I'm having only because G is in my energy. Kundalini energy is a Kundalini activation Safi's having only because G is in the energy. Yes. Apparently that energy seems to be the 3 of Swords, which is the heartbreak energy, which is logic cutting emotion in half. So it's not the best energy to have. But yeah, the Kundalini energy you're having is because G's in your energy. So I wish you luck with that. That's gonna be rough. Take care of you, okay? That is what the cards say. Okay, and completed that list. And Jen says, I have to get a car. I have a daughter. Bike won't work. Okay. So, yeah, your needs are different than mine. I wish you luck with that car and paying it off. But it's a necessity when you have a kid to get around. I understand. And Francis says, hi, Violet. And I said, hi, Francis. How are you? I are hydrated. Are you hydrated? Francis is hydrated. Very good. And Jen is sending positive vibes and thanks for the reading. You are so welcome. Heart. I hope everything works out. Well, you did get the happiness card, so it will. It will. Okay, and Francis says, I'm eating Weetabix. I'm gonna look up what Weetabix is, because I got no clue. So Weetabix is apparently a popular whole grain wheat breakfast cereal produced since 1932. Sold as palm-sized oblong biscuits, it is high in fiber, low in fat, and usually eaten by soaking it in milk or topping it with fruit, sugar, or honey. Interesting. That does not sound like an American food. Originally in the UK, where it remains a breakfast staple. Global reach. Produced in places like North Hampshire, UK, and Ontario, Canada, and sold worldwide in Australia and New Zealand. A similar product named Wheat Bix is made by Sanitarium. Okay, cool. Sounds like a healthy breakfast. And Intuitive Jen says, I'm about to be. I've had like 2 bottles, but that is better than nothing. Water. Yes. First time I'm hearing of Weetabix. Yeah. I guess it depends on the local. It's a UK thing. Francis says it's wheat biscuit made by Sanitarium. Yeah. So it mentioned that in the Google search. And Jen says, that's why I walk past that whole grain stuff. Francis says, Sanitarium was founded by Seventh-day Adventist Church. Yay. It tastes like cardboard. Yay, cardboard. Energy reading for Francis, please. Sure. What should I know right now? Thanks. Awesome. Francis. And then Mary. Okay, so we got Francis and Miriam. Energy reading. You get an extra card with an 8. And then 2, so gay turret. Gay turrets. Energy reading for Francis. Ooh, boy. Slippery cards tonight. Yeah, no, you don't. Haha. Alright, right. Okay. It's reminded me. Hold on. Yeesh. Chill out. First, your extra card. Second, your energy reading. Okay, energy reading is the Hanged Man. So, a different perspective and or enlightenment. It is a major arcana, so it is a major life event or major life energy. And 4 of Cups. And you're very stable emotionally. That's good. So you might be having a different aspect on the emotional field right now, which is wonderful. That's very good. You're stable in emotions and having a different perspective. That's good. Sounds really good. Sounds very insightful. That's what it is. Insightful is the word. Alright, I hope that helps you out, Francis. Then Miriam. What should Miriam know right now? Alright, universe, what do you want to say to Miriam? Number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What does Miriam need to know right now? What does Miriam need to know right now? Three of Swords. Oh no! Heartbreak. Alright, so go easy on yourself, first of all. Because the swords will be cutting at your emotions. You should, let's see, hold on. If there's heartbreak, what can we do about that? The Hierophant. Okay, so what you need to know now is that if you have some heartbreaking thing happen in the near future, you need to go seek out your guru, your teacher, whoever you like to get your teachings or trainings from. Go to that person and ask for advice. They're going to be the best. Like if you have to go back to basics in whatever traditional, like this is usually religious or teacher related, so whatever teacher you go to get advice from, it is advising if that you have a devastating heartbreak, you go to that person, you go to that teacher, and you go research their stuff. And that is what the cards say. Oh, well, I did finish that list, but now I get to hydrate. Keep the brain juices flowing. Flowing brain juices. Okay, and Francis says, I'm glad, thanks very much. Thank you, Hanson. Cat with heart eyes. You're very welcome. And Miriam says, thanks. 3 beating hearts. Awesome. Miriam says, what is the biggest misconception I have about my future partner? And Francis says, question, who is coming towards Francis this August? So, Miriam and Francis. The all deck on deck question. All decks on deck. And you get number 7. Every little thing you do is magic. You know. Do. It's magic. You know. What is the biggest misconception Miriam has about the future partner? What is the biggest misconception about the future partner? Ooh, let's see. 5 of Cups. Ooh, they are going to be a challenge. You're going to cry a lot. You're going to cry over a lot of stuff because you're going to be focused on a lot of negative things. You should not forget that there are other cups that are not spilt, but you're going to be focused on a lot of spilled cups. A lot of, like, this one says a lot of spilled cups, so this will not. I'm not gonna say it's not gonna be I'm not gonna say it's not gonna be happy, but it's gonna be very emotional. A very emotional journey. And you know what? I don't know if it's you or them crying. It's just gonna be a lot of crying. Happy tears, sad tears for years, because this is oceans of tears. This is just oceans of tears and feelings. And that is what the cards have to say. And that is for Miriam. I hope that helps you out. Oceans of tears. Oceans. Alright, and then Francis's question. Who is coming towards Francis in August? Let's find out. Who is coming towards Francis in August? Number 7 again. Every little thing you do is magic, you know. Do. It's magic, you know. Do. Okay, who is coming towards Francis in this August? Who is going towards Francis in August? Who's going towards Francis in August? Alright, justice. Ooh, some justice. Ooh. Some justice person. Oh, so what comes to my mind is some sort of law enforcement or lawyer? Someone from the court system. And that is what the cards are telling me. Someone from the court system. That's definite. And it's a major arcana card. So yeah, that's a big thing. It's a serious matter. It's justice. It's black and white. It's from the court system. That is what it's telling me. So good luck. Uh, that's all I got. That's all they say. That's all they say. And then you had a second question. What is the cycle ending for Francis and what is the beginning soon? Okay, so give me a pen, sir. There we go. Cycle ending and beginning. Okay, so what cycle is ending for Francis and what cycle is beginning? Okay, what cycle is ending and what cycle is beginning? The Apprentice of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so the cycle of energy that's ending is the swords. So you're in one area of whatever logical thing you're doing. You're running with scissors. This is always my running with scissors card, the Apprentice of Swords. So you are maturing. You are maturing from a pattern of thought. You have a child, you have a juvenile thought pattern that is going to be maturing, and that is the ending cycle. And then the Seven of Pentacles, which is introspection on your resources. That is a beginning. You're going to be looking at your resources very differently, and that might go with the Hangman you had earlier with a different perspective. So you might be looking at your resources and finding new opportunities. And that is what the cards say. Hope that helps you out, Francis. Okay, and I have caught up on that list. And then we're gonna hydrate. There we go. We hydrate so we don't die straight on this hill. Okay. Nobody wants to die straight. Ah, tasty. Alright. And then we're going to catch up on chat. And I stream for 2 hours at a time. And I'm just letting everyone know I have been streaming for an hour and 15 minutes. So I got 45 more minutes left of tarot card reading. Okay, and Miriam says, happy tears, or him crying, not me. You know what? It could have been both of you crying. There was an ocean of tears built up. And laughing and then a high five. Either that's a high five or you're saying stop it. And Miriam says, how am I most likely to meet my future life partner? What will be the circumstances be? What will be my first impression of them be? And what will their first impression of me be? Whoa, so many. Alright, we'll figure that out when I come back to it. But Miriam, you're on the list. There we go. Okay, and Safi says, what lesson or what change do I need to make to stop attracting all kinds of parasites? It feels like it has been a constant pattern for me. So Safi. Safi is on the list. Francis says, is Francis going to be arrested this August? Francis? I don't know. Did you do anything bad, Francis? Safi says, how is S doing emotionally after all the drama these past days? And then Safi. Very good. Okay. So we now have a new list. I'm gonna get to that list. What do we got? Got Miriam. Oh yeah, Miriam's very long, very awesome question. Let's see. Yes. I'm most likely to meet my future partner. Oh. Future partner. What will the circumstances be? I would probably fall in love with a lot of guys here. Oh, that's perfect timing. Thank you, Fawn. Circumstances of meeting. There we go. And what will the first impression of them be? And what will their first impression of be? So, impressions. So, Miriam's impression and then partner's impression. There we go. We got all 4 questions on the board. We need the deck now. Yeah, we'll do tarot card. It's a lot of questions. Number 6. Robin Wood Tarot. I think we can do a better shuffle than that. That's much better. There we go. Okay, so How are you to meet future partner? Circumstances of meeting. Impression. Miriam's impression and your partner's impression. Ooh, interesting. Wow. Wow. Okay, so first of all, Major Arcana? All 4 cards are Major Arcana. That is amazing. That is so energetic. This feels like fateful. So the Hermit is how you're going to meet your partner. So you're going to meet your partner while you're trying to get away from people. You're going to be running, but they're going to be running after you. And Death is circumstances of meeting. It's going to be after a major life change. So one of those death and rebirth changes. So something major is going to happen in your life, which is probably going to lead to the Hermit phase. And the impression of Miriam's impression of the future partner is the Magician. So you're going to think of him as being very magical and worldly, and for some reason it's reminding me of the Spirit of the Woods. And it kind of goes with the Hermit feeling over here, like while you're trying to do your Hermit thing, this guy is gonna come out like he can do stuff. Like he's fended for himself very well. And therefore he'd be able to actually take care of himself. No problem. But then if he can take care of himself, he can actually help you out and not be a burden. And then his perception of you, the partner's perception of you, is a different perspective. There's something enlightening about you. To him. To them, since we're going with non-gender terms, to them, so they're going to find you intriguing and interesting. And that is what the cards say. So, wow. That's going to be really interesting for you. It's a very interesting journey for you. Okay, and that was for Miriam. And Safi. What lesson or what change do I need to make to stop attracting all kinds of parasites? It feels like it's been a constant pattern for Safi. Okay, so we're going to ask all the cards. All decks on deck. Number 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Rabbit. What lesson or what change does Safi need to make to stop attracting all kinds of parasites? Okay, let's see what we got. We got, ooh, 4 of Swords. You need to calm your mind. You need to do your meditation work. You need to chill out. You need to get into your zone. You need to find good vibes. You need to calm down the mental logic energy. This is definitely my card of you need to meditate and calm your horses. Chill out your mind. Calm down those brain monkeys. And find your zen. Because they've hung up the thoughts in the trees and laid down, so it's just time to chill out and find those good vibes and some meditation. And that is what the cards say. Okay, I hope that helps you out, Safi. Okay. Francis says, question, is Francis going to be arrested in this August? I hope not. Don't get arrested, Francis. It's not worth it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Alright. Which deck wants to handle this shenanigans? Which? Number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is Francis going to be arrested in August? Is Francis going to be arrested in August? Is Francis going to be arrested in August? No, you are not going to be arrested. However, this is the Judgment card. It's the Major Arcana. Something major is going to happen. And Judgment is also a word for refinement. You're going to be refining some things with this. Some major things. And a door is open, so opportunities are going to be opening with the court system. So something legal is going to happen, and this is an opportunity. So you're not going... Wait, is the questions? So the question is, are you going to be arrested this August? Oh dear. Just a lot of new opportunities I'm seeing. And you're going to be refining yourself. Refining what you want to keep and saying goodbye to bad parts. And that is what the cards have to say. Good luck, Francis. Oh my God. And Safi, how is S doing emotionally after all the drama of these past few days? You get an extra card and 3. 1, 2, 3. Supernatural deck. How is S doing emotionally after the drama these past days? Let's see, how is S doing? How is S doing? Come back here. Ha ha ha. Caught him. I caught them. Ha ha ha. So that's a good reason to wear a dress. Dresses are really good card catchers. My golly. Okay, fine. There, extra cards. I'll flip them in a moment. How is S doing emotionally after the drama these past days? Oh yeah, it did say extra cards. I forgot. But no, now you have them. Oof. Well, we got 9 of Pentacles. That's not good. That's not good. Oh dear, my golly. Okay, so these are the extra cards. These are bones. These are action cards. The Queen of Bones and the 9 of Bones. These are like wand cards. But this one's on fire. Oh, golly. So the Queen of Bones, very passionate female power. And then 9 of Bones. So observing the skills you have. So as a Queen of Bones, you are examining the skills you have. The Knight of Pentagrams. So how was S doing emotionally after all the drama in these past days? So this character in the show is not a very good character. It almost... okay, so unhinged is a word I would use. And it is a Knight of Cards, so there is a lot of movement behind it. And using all of their resources at their disposal. And a lot of action, since you said there was a lot of drama. So they are utilizing all of their resources and actions to deal with the drama. And because of all the stress, they've had to become an unsavory personality to go and survive that. So that is what's happening emotionally with them. They're not in an emotional state right now. Right now, they're doing all the action, and they are using resources to get through this time of drama. And that is what the cards say. Okay, and that's for Safi, and that completes that list. So we're going to clear that list. We're going to hydrate. We're going to look at the time. Alright, so I've been streaming for 1 hour and 35 minutes. I hydrate. Good stuff. All right. I've hydrated. I'm gonna get my sniffs. An aromatherapy stick. Okay. Where were we? We got Safi was last. And Francis says, I'm glad maturing and change in perspective is really promising. I thought it was. It felt very promising. And Francis says, follow-up question, if Francis is going to be arrested, how long is he going to serve time for? Time! We have called upon the Cosmic Timing deck. I will use it for that. So, Francis... If you're gonna be arrested, how long are you gonna serve time for? Are you gonna serve time? I don't know. Okay, Miriam says, interesting, thanks. You and floating hearts. You're very welcome. And Miriam says, what would my spirit guides name this phase of my life? Miriam. And Safi says, would it be better for me to just stay at home and delay the trip to recharge? Safi. And Francis says, that makes sense. I'm actually the one judging. Cool. And Francis says, alrighty then. I can look down on my eyes. Be a smug while judging. Cool. And Safi says, what would my spirit guides name this chapter of my life? You know what? I appreciate that you guys look at each other's questions and are inspired by them and then re-ask them. I approve. I think that's very good. I think that's very awesome. Okay, Francis says, what is hidden from Francis he may want to know? So Francis. Awesome. Okay, so Cosmic Timing deck. I don't remember. You know what? Things happen. Okay, so follow-up question. If Francis is going to be arrested, how long is he going to serve time for? Is he going to serve? This week. What an interesting question. So it doesn't look like it's going to be a long-term sentence. If you get arrested, it's going to be with, like, I feel with this kind of answer, it's not going to be a sentence. It's going to be the time in court is probably going to be like a week. And that is what the cards say. So you're not going to be in the system very long. Which is good. It's brief. so that's less stress for you. That's good. So not a long time. Because the court system usually just takes a long time. So it's good this is going to be nice and short. So Miriam. What would my spirit guides name this phase of my life? It's a very good question. All decks on deck. Number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I really should turn this so you guys can read the list. What would the spirit guides name this phase of Miriam's life? What would the spirit guides name this phase of Miriam's life? The Star. Ooh, so this is a phase of life of hope. This is the Star. It's a major arcana. So you're going through a major arcana arc in your life. It's called the Star. That's a good one because the Star is about hope and growth. Going from, I don't want to say bad to good, but it is going from a unclear position in life to a clearer one. And that is what the cards say. So you're following a star. A guiding star. There you go. The guiding star. Hope that helps you out, Marianne. A guiding star. Poetic. I like it. Okay, and Safi has 2 questions. And Safi says, would it be better for Safi to just stay at home and delay the trip to recharge? Number 7. I'm sorry. Number 7. Every little thing you do is magic, you know. And Preston, you don't have to ask a question. It's okay. You can always just ask the question. Now, where was I, Safi? What would my... Yes, so what would be... Oh yeah, should Safi stay at home and recharge? Alright, so we're gonna look at trip or stay home. Trip or stay home for Safi? which one is going to benefit Safi? Trip or stay home? So the trip, staying at home. Okay. So both of these are court cards. Again, apprentice for the solo journey. Apprentice of Wands. Well, I do see a snail here. It's fun with mushrooms. So if you go with the stay at home, you are going to be able to relax and save your energy. The Champion of Pentacles if you go on the trip. So if you go on the trip, there's a good chance that you will plant some seeds of resources and make things happen. So yeah, you could stay at home or you could make them things happen. Because this is not a bad choice. This is just your choice. This is an Apprentice of Wands. So this one is going to help you recharge, and this one is going to help some things move along in your life. You're going to be planting seeds and going forth and making things happen in your life. And this is your choice. Which one sounds exciting to you? Which one? If this one sounds like a drag, don't go. If this one sounds really boring, don't go. If you want change in your life, go on the trip. If you want to just say F it and relax, stay at home. And that is what the cards say. I hope it helps you out. That's Safi's first one, and that was the second one. What would Safi's spirit guides name this chapter of their life? Let's find out. So what would the spirit guides name this chapter of Safi's life? The Three of Wands. Tools. The Three of Wands is action, right? This is opportunities and making things happen. It's an action journey and seeing opportunities. What would spirit guides name this chapter? Use the tools at your disposal. That is what this journey is. So I'm definitely going to recommend with this card, if this is the chapter name of your life, if Tools of the Trade is your life, you should go on that trip because you are going to be building up resources and experiences on the trip. And that is an opportunity. So go with your opportunities and go on the trip and have this delicious chapter of your life. That's what I call it. Alright, so, and that is what the cards say. Hope that helps you out. And then Francis. What is hidden from Francis he might want to know? We're going to go with an all decks on deck question. So 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Getting into the vortex. This is the information card. We don't read it. It's shy. Don't look. It's gonna hide in the box. Okay. What is hidden from Francis that he might want to know? My relationships will change when my vibration changes. You are living in the time when fewer people will attempt the impossible task of pushing the unwanted far enough away that they will be left with only that which is wanted. It is the time when more people will come to the realization that what they have been seeking is not a change in behavior of others or the world outside of them over which they have no control, but instead an understanding of their own vibrational relationship with Source, over which they have complete control. So, what is hidden from Francis that he may want to know? You may want to know that you don't have to push against the unwanted. You're going to want to learn about what you can control and what you cannot control. And that is going to be the best thing for you mentally and emotionally. And that is what the cards say. Okay, so did Francis, and we are at 1:54. So I stream for 2 hours. I had at a time so that I don't get burned out. I'm gonna hydrate. So this is gonna be the last list I make for the night, and then we're gonna say goodnight. Very good. Okay. This is going to be the last list, and then we're going to say goodnight. Alright, let's see here. Is Francis likely to have a tattoo? Francis is on the list. Is Francis likely to have homosexual encounter or experience? Note, I asked these questions because I thought they're impossible. I am intrigued by this question, though, just so you know. And Preston says, what horoscope sign is thinking of me right now? So get to Francis and then Preston. And Francis says, is Francis likely to buy a house this year or next year? And then Francis again. Okay, and then what was decided between our souls before we met, and what is the universe preparing both of us for? Mariam is on the list. And thanks a lot for your time and guidance. Beating Heart, you are so welcome. And Safi says, is it worth it to go to PR at all? And Safi is on the list. And Francis says, oh my god, that's a really deep reading. Thank you. I have to change my vibration, my relationship with the source, God. What's the deck called, please? Oh, that deck was Getting Into the Vortex. Is by Esther and Jerry Hicks. It is actually one of my favorite decks. And if I have to choose a mentor who's taught me a lot of stuff, it's definitely Abraham Hicks. I definitely encourage you going and researching them. They are so awesome. Getting Into the Vortex cards. And yes, again, the authors is Jerry and Esther Hicks. Like 3 of these decks here are theirs. Okay, and oh, the chicken stock is ready. Hold on. Okay, that's not a big deal. I can do that after stream. Okay, so I now have the current list. No more questions for the night. And I'm going to do these right now. So, question, is Francis likely to have a tattoo? Sprinkle question. Number 3. 1, 2, 3. Is Francis gonna get a tattoo? Is Francis gonna get a tattoo? No. You're too prideful to get a tattoo. It's just something in your tradition that said that's not what you do, so you don't. The Emperor. That is what the cards say. And then, is Francis likely to have a homosexual encounter or experience? Yes. Francis is likely to have a homosexual encounter or experience. It is the 5 of Swords, though. And for some reason, it feels like a defeat to you. Logically. I'm going to do a follow-up card for that one. Let's see. 2 of Bones, which is 2 of Wands. It would be a decision that you would make that would lead to it. Alright, and that is what the cards say. An action. It's an action decision because it's Bones or Wands. Not a logical decision. I want to make that distinction. Not an emotional one either. Oh my god. Wait. Is it Bones because it's a boner? I don't know. You know what? Your body makes that decision. That is what the cards say. That is funny. I like that. Have fun, Francis. Okay, then. Preston. What horoscope sign is thinking of me right now? Ooh, you know what? This is the best deck for horoscopes. Which horoscope is thinking of Francis? Ooh, Cancer. The new moon in Cancer is thinking about thinking about Preston. New moon in Cancer. 48. Page 48. Okay, you and your loved ones are safe. Oh, that's a good card, actually. You and your loved ones are safe. So Cancer is thinking of you, and you and your loved ones are safe. There's a new start coming in your private life. Something is rising up in connection with the people and places you hold dearest. This can be to do with a member of your family, a flatmate, or moving house if you're hoping to move forwards with something special in your private life. This card comes to you as a message that you can do it. If you've been neglecting your family, it's time to reconnect with them. If you've been neglecting yourself, you need to take better care of yourself and nurture yourself more. If your insecurity is holding you back, that's something for you to work on now. Doing so could bring you your heart's desire. So, attune to the moon. Make sure you put family first. Additional meanings for this card. Let someone get a bit closer to you. A new cycle is starting for your child or children. It's time to review your goals. Have they changed? Meditation will help you banish your insecurities. Spending time near water will bring you peace and answers. The teaching of this card. The new moon in Cancer can be a super emotional time. The moon is all about emotions, and Cancer is a water sign and also very emotional. Saying that the moon is a very happy, saying that the moon is very happy in the sign of Cancer. It's one of her 2 home signs, along with Taurus. So whenever you pull it, this card suggests that whatever happens next will be in your favor. It's especially positive for family matters. Alright, so I hope that helps you out. Francis? There we go. Get the cards in there. Sorry, Preston. I hope I said Preston. I hope that helps you out, Preston. Okay, now the Francis. Question, is Francis likely to buy a new house this year or next year? Gonna get number 3, which is Supernatural. Is Francis likely to buy a new house this year or next year? Is Francis... Ooh. Gotta shuffle it more. Okay, so is Francis likely to buy a house? Is Francis likely to buy a house this year? Yes. So it is likely that Francis is going to buy a house this year. It's going to be a major change. The ending of one point and the beginning of another. So this is a death and rebirth card. It's all a very dry transition, is what the vibe I'm getting. Like, it's just a process. It's nothing, like, emotional. It's just going to be what it is. It's going to be the death of something, and then the rebirth of this something. And this something does have to do with a house. Let's see, what's the context? So, major change brings major evolutions, and that is what the cards are saying. I hope that helps you out, Francis. And then Miriam. What was Miriam's? What was decided between our souls before we met? And what is the universe preparing both of us for? What was decided? And was the universe preparing both of us for? Okay, and then we need a deck. We need a deck. You know what? This is an all deck on deck kind of big universe talk. Okay. Number 2. Gay Terrence. So what was decided before? And what's the second part of that question? What's the universe preparing you for, Miriam for? The Ace of Wands. What was decided before you were born? The Guide of Swords. Going forth aggressively was decided before. Aggressive things were going to happen. Aggressive people who were going to wield their logic like weapons. And there's preparing Miriam for all the skills you're going to build in life. And that is what the cards have to say. So these challenging people in your life are going to be building the skills that you're going to need for life. Alright, I hope that helps you out, Miriam. And Safi. Is it worth it to go to PR at all? So, number 2, again, Gatehurt. Is it worth going to PR at all? So, for Safi, is it worth going to PR at all? Yes, it is worth it. It is the 9 of Coins worth it. It is worth comfort and resources and money and wealth. It is worth it. Go. Go on your journey. That is what the cards say. Okay, and that was our last question for the night. I'm going to catch up on chat, and then we're going to say goodnight. So what does everyone have to say? Let's see here. Francis says, oh my god, the deep breathe, thank you. I have to change my vibration and relationship with the source. God, what is the deck? Alright, I answered that. And Safi says, thank you for the readings, Rose and Heart. You're very welcome. I'm happy to help. And Francis says, thank you for sharing the deck. I will definitely get one for myself. What are your most favorite non-tarot card decks? Oh, golly. They're all my babies. So make me choose. Definitely Oh my god. I have to say, it is getting into the vortex and money in the law of attraction. And then followed closely by the Urban Crow deck and the Moonology. So that is the pile of non-tarot cards that I really love. Okay, I'm gonna put these guys back. I mean, I do like these. These are very, like, this one's like seems to be spot on a lot, but for a favorite, it's definitely these guys. They're just close to my heart. Okay. And then Francis says, homosexual experience? Good lord, I better not drop the soap. Look, have fun with it, dude. Have fun with it. And Preston says, 100% yellow heart rose. Thank you. You're very welcome, Preston. And Francis says, thank you so much. It was a beautiful reading. You're very welcome. And Ki Van Terry Jan, like 5, and Nigerian Siri Aries Angel Guidance. Hi. You have subscribed. You must be new. Welcome. Unfortunately, I am over my time limit. Come back tomorrow and I will give you a reading definitely, okay? Bring back all your questions tomorrow. Cool. Thank you. And Miriam says, thanks, floating hearts. 8 floating hearts. Awesome. And John says, hi. Are you doing questions still? No, sorry, John. Bring all your questions back tomorrow. I'm out of time. I have been streaming for 2 hours and 18 minutes. Come back tomorrow. Thank you. Francis says, thank you. Thanks a lot. Beautiful decks. I think so. Thank you. And Covey says, yes, ma'am. And okay, sure. Thank you. You're very welcome. And thank you all for your questions. I do want to read all your questions. Look, if I had more mental capacity, I would totally read more questions. But my body limit is at 2 hours. So I look forward to all of your questions tomorrow. In 22 hours, about 8:30, I will be back on. So 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Bring back your questions and I will happily read them. Alright, guys, I love you all so much. Sleep well. Good night. Bye-bye.